Welcome back to Real Skate Stories. Skateboarding's true essence has always been style. Perhaps no skater in history has been as synonymous with style as Gregg Weaver. Skaters from every generation have admired Gregg's style. Gregg says surfing was his lifeline, and skateboarding was a branch off of that. Modern skateboarding truly began in 1975 with the invention of the urethane wheel. Frank Nasworthy developed Cadillac wheels, and it was game on.
I was 18 or 19. Just happened to, through a series of events, go with a friend of mine, Bill Harward, and we went to visit a friend of his who wasn't at home. His mom said he's down at his father's shop, so we went down to his father's shop, and his father was the real inventor who was working with all sorts of urethane applications, all sorts of things. And one of them was he was making some urethane wheels for a couple roller rinks. So, and that sort of substantiates the fact I didn't invent anything. I innovated something. I saw something and applied it to a different medium.
Precisely at that time, Gregg Weaver met Frank by chance, skateboarding by his house. Frank stopped him, gave him some wheels, and took him to La Costa, where they shot the first Cadillac ad with the legendary Art Brewer, who shot the ad from the back of a pickup truck as Gregg carved down the hill. It was then that he was known as the Cadillac Kid. Same year, Skateboarder Magazine would launch, and Gregg scored the first cover, a Warren Bolster shot, carving the San Marcos pool. Gregg never liked the shot because he was barely halfway up the wall, but Warren chose it because of the angle. There was a big Dogtown versus Down South rivalry in skateboarding at that time, and the Dogtown boys would tease Gregg for years about that cover. Gregg's relationship shooting with Bolster, who was the magazine's editor, made him one of the most published skaters in the late 70s. Skate magazine photo politics have always been a major part of the game, and Bolster was particularly power hungry. For most skaters, if they shot with other photographers that weren't on his team, they wouldn't get much play in the mag, if any. Besides Gregg's incredible skating, shooting constantly with Bolster put him on the right side of the politics at Skateboarder Magazine, and every single photo had something in common: mad steez. He set the bar for skaters worldwide, and in that generation was perhaps the most influential man on wheels. He says the skater who influenced him the most at that time was Rodney Jesse, the most balls-out skater he ever came across. And also loved the skating of Alva and the Dogtown guys and Dave Hackett.
I'm never going home no more. I'm never walking out that door. Well, they looked at me and threw away that key and said, you're never going home no more. Well, they looked at me and threw away that key and said, you're never going home no more. I'll never breathe the air again. I'll never walk the streets, my friend. Well, they looked at me and threw away that key and said, you'll never walk the streets, my friend. Well, they looked at me and threw away that key and said, you'll never walk the streets, my friend. I know the times are bad and I was sad. The only dream I had was to be free. I know it sounds unlikely, I know it sounds untrue. Words of a soul were written for you. Oh yeah. Get down. I'm gonna move. Wanna do what I want. Ain't nobody gonna stop me.
I'd ridden Cadillacs originally. Cadillacs really didn't evolve like the rest of the wheels, get bigger, which were better for the parks and in bowls, and went to like the Road Rider Park 5s and stuff. Once I started riding Kryptonics, it was like, that's it, you know. I rode those till I quit skating. My best session I remember, which got me the most coverage, of course I knew Bolster, who was the editor of Skateboarder, so that didn't hurt. I drove up with him. But we went to Skatopia, and he had just gotten a multi, three frames per second camera that he wanted to try. And we went up and I was riding the orange Kryptonics. And there was a center spread in that magazine and the cover shot.